Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your host, the experience of some call Jason, and with me today is...
Todd Father.
CDO-113, the droid you're looking for.
And the token unbelievable investigator, Tarky.
And today we're going to talk about rumors of a DC Comics buyout.
By absolute complete randos.
Quite possibly. Well, I don't know. Do you still count as randos if you got that kind of money?
No.
Yes. Because you're not another company.
You're not another company, but the two head folks that I've read that were kind of in the front running of both names. So,
and all companies are randos with money that get together up to a certain point. But anyway, this was an article dropped on bleedingcool.com, which kind of makes, and from my understanding, Bleeding Cool is kind of hit or miss, but you know. But let's see, I'll summarize the article, but basically the DC's been having a lot of staff cuts and so forth. AT&T bought out Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers owns DC, of course. And basically, they've had a rough year, so AT&T is starting to cut anything that's not making money. DC moved from their offices in New York, which were, I'm sure, fairly expensive, over to Burbank in California, which is freakishly expensive from what I hear. And then those offices have basically sat empty this past year because of, pandemic.
yeah, they say that the Burbank offices actually are like a DC museum. They say they needed shit, for, tours and all that kind of stuff, but the beer virus kind of put the kibosh on all that.
Mm-hmm. Now, all the cuts they've done have made the comics division more profitable per book. But they're also doing a lot less books now because they've cut the editorial staff.
Yeah. And, the prices ain't cheap on the books either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they've cut a bunch of the staff because a lot of the writers and artists are working from home. It has cut some of their operating overhead also.
No, that it wouldn't have, because they still have to pay rent on all that building space that they're now just not using.
Well, yeah, they still have to pay the rent. But they can write that off as a loss due to whatever.
It does not make up the entire amount, though. That just helps.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of having 20 of this particular job on staff, they technically only have to have, 5 or 1 per book. And if they need extra, they can always outsource it.
But
Now, one big part I like so much about this is that there are reports that DC Comics is planning to reduce print publication, increase digital, and license comic book publication to other publishers. On that list, Marvel, IDW, and Dynamite have all approached DC, but the prices cited were too high. Like, what price does Marvel get that's too high to have a monopoly? Or, for all intents and purposes, a monopoly.
Yeah, but the trick is you always have to look at Disney ain't shitting and flying itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you give it a couple of years ago, then yeah, Disney could literally just throw wads of cash at them, but
but probably even then Disney probably wouldn't have bothered, because this wouldn't be giving them the movie rights, which is where they make the real money.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're just talking about doing out the comics.
Yeah.
And Warner keeping all the TV and movie rights to all the characters to do what they want with, and that's where the money is right now, because
you can see Marvel being shitty enough to get the comic rights and put it all out of print, just so they wouldn't have shit to do the movies on.
Yeah, that I could see that.
They did that with X-Men. They did that with X-Men and Fantastic Four. Hell, they nixed the hell out of them while Fox had the rights, because they were like, hell, we can pay for this. Why are we hyping that shit? Nix them. Inhumans it is.
Yep.
Now, the article says Penguin Random House may have been willing to pay it. Though, looking at the rumors behind that, it looks like they may be going to publish the trades.
Yeah.
Which may include original trades that aren't just collections of previously published books. Some of those may aim at younger viewers or readers. The interesting thing there is, with Random House doing it, you could potentially have like a little trade section in every Walmart.
Yeah.
Or, anywhere where they put their books in, some of that space could be given over to trades. Which would be a... well, that'd be an interesting experiment to see how that would go over.
Yeah.
Because you do have people that'll buy trades that won't touch a regular issue.
Yeah. The problem I think that you're gonna have with all that, and it's the elephant in the room, is the quality of the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could put that crap in a trade. Who the hell's buying it? Nobody. That's the main problem. People don't read it. They basically, the old fans, they have not generated a whole hell of a lot of new ones. So it's just there. Nobody wants to read it. And that's the elephant in the room. If the books were popping, they'd be making money. The books ain't popping.
Well, I mean, that's where the whole sales per title are up thing comes into play. Is like, well, they are seeing an uptick on individual titles. I don't know how big, but
apparently not enough to get their head above water.
One of the person's comment I saw on this online is, okay, yeah, they're seeing an uptick, but like, say one of your favorite characters had a title and they canceled them, and the only place you can see that character now is in one of the remaining titles that they have. You're most likely going to pick up that title just to see what your favorite character's doing. It's not that you originally wanted to buy that book because it wasn't one that you had in your list, but hey, it's got your favorite character in it, so you see an uptick.
I don't buy the Sonic comic because Mega Man made an appearance.
Yeah, but the trick is if you like Batman and Bruce Wayne's in Dark Detective and not Batman right now, you go buy Dark Detective because that's where your Batman is.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Is he a main character or is he a side character?
What are you talking about? Bruce Wayne? No, Dark Detective is Bruce Wayne. The future state thing right now, you got the next Batman, which is Tim Fox, and then you got Bruce Wayne in a book called The Dark Detective.
Yeah, as long as he's the main character, then yeah, that's the Batman book. It's just given a different title.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think he's maybe saying more.
Through this, you had 15 Batman titles.
No, Todd. What I was saying was, with Danny's talk of a character in someone else's book, I don't read someone else's book for my favorite character being a side character in it for a few issues. I just won't do that.
So if you were a Nightwing fan, you want a Nightwing book, you don't want Nightwing in Batman.
If I'm already reading Batman and see Nightwing, that's nice, but I'm not going to go out of my way to grab 3 issues of a Batman story because I know Nightwing is in those 3 issues. Because, like, if I don't want to read the Batman story, having something I like tucked into it isn't going to have me buy it. If I don't already like the story that's there.
And that's where you go have a difference in generation, because I'm pretty sure the 3 of us have all bought some damn Batman's book because somebody we liked was in it.
Yep, I've got an Aquaman book just because the Golden Age, Flash, and Green Lantern Man. The trick is that sort of uptick isn't going to last.
Yeah,
it would be okay. Is not making Nightwing a regular supporting character in the Batman book. Would that draw in the Nightwing fans if he doesn't have his own book, kind of thing?
And in truth, that's with Future State. That's kind of what they've done, because all of them in that old Batman family, Superman family style, where it's Batman, Teen Titans, and somebody in one chunky book.
Yeah.
So that's just like, I've been tempted to read the Wonder Woman, not because I give a damn about Diana or the new one. I want to see Nubia. So I pick it up because Nubia's in it.
Of course, that is them having backup stories, which is a little different than just being the side character in somebody else's story. That's them having their own story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would still push up your book.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And that's
Now,
the point.
One
Yeah,
possibility
it's-
too
If the story
is
is multiple.
if you've cut
Sorry.
if you've cut down on the number of books, maybe you're not spreading yourself as thin. Maybe the quality will go up. You know,
One can hope.
crossing your fingers that you fired all the bad writers. But,
And that's kind of, and like that goes back to what I was saying originally. It's the problem is the quality, because just like this last crossover that they had, one of the promises was we're not going to be as dark. You know, we're not going to be as dark after this. And then Future State comes out. Future State dark as hell. They've kind of gone Snyderverse with the grim dark,
mhm.
because them books is dark. You have that going right now. You got kind of let's put an unfamiliar character in a known title, but we don't go all out with it because we don't want to lose everybody, so we kind of move shit around. It's kind of the quality of the stuff is.
So if a
shaky.
group of fans took over, how do you think that would affect the quality?
If they took over and basically went, this ain't the shit we grew up with, it would probably improve the quality greatly, because at the very least, you might get some of the folks that said the hell with this shit back.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing from a business standpoint right now, is here's your choices. You can keep chasing people that ain't showing up, or you can chase the people that you ran off that had these properties lasting 60, 70, 80 damn years. You know, it's literally a bird in the hand worth two in the bush. You might be able to win some of them back, maybe, if it was a return to the things they like. One of the things is, like, after Future State, what was that? That Dark Knights, Dark Metal, whatever that last big crossover was, the thing after Future State is supposed to be the return to the pre-New 52 universe.
Yeah, the Infinity Frontier.
Yeah, Infinity Frontier is supposed to be going back to back when DC was popping. Now, the trick is, have you got the writers to make it pop, or will it just be, all right, we're in the universe that everybody said you like, but the shit still feels like New 52 or Rebirth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's literally one of those kind of things where they've done the experiment of going, well, the hell with the fans we got. Let's chase the fans we want. And the fans we want don't want you. So right now you're in a limbo. You might be able to get the old ones back. Maybe. Because the new ones ain't coming.
Yeah.
You know, in truth, and we talked about this one time before, they kind of cut the throat of the thing that makes new fans, and one thing that makes new fans is old fans.
Yeah. Because, like, with people of my age and Todd's age, if I don't have kids, but if I had kids, they would have, grown up around me going, oh, hey, this character's this, because my wife Jennifer has heard me, go on a rant about characters, and then we see them in a movie or a TV show, and I'll hit pause and I'll be like, that's not how they are in the books. In the books, it's such and such, so and so, blah blah blah, and she just sits there and looks at me like, okay, yeah, you done? All right, hit play. But if you have kids, it's like, okay, I enjoyed this. I want you to, one day you're going to inherit this. I want you to enjoy it too. So here's the lowdown. And usually you have at least one of your kids that goes, you know what? I like that too. And they, jump in on the bandwagon with you. And so they're invested. And it's like they took that level of the fans and just threw them out. It's like, we don't need you. We want this guy over here who's never read a comic book, or this girl over here who's never read a comic book. We want them to come over here and join our, our club.
Mm-hmm. And certainly you should pursue those people, but not at the expense of the people that are currently handing you money.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, if I've got 5 people already, invested in my, books, I'm keeping those 5.
It's the customers you got versus the customers you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's the problem. They chase the customers they want at the expense of the customers they had.
Yeah. Yeah, and
You don't do that.
yeah, you don't. If I can get 5 new customers, I want 5 new customers, but I want to keep the customers I've got because they've been loyal. You know, it's the same situation that Disney did with Star Wars. You know, they basically threw the baby out with the bathwater and was like, "We're gonna get clean bathwater." That's nice, but you know, the baby that was keeping all keeping you in cash, you done tried to get rid of them.
Now the folks doing the Mandalorian seem to be working pretty hard to fix that, but
Yeah, yeah. The newer stuff that you got like, oh no.
And hell, I'm not a fan of the universe, but hell, give Warner Brothers credit. They caught a fair amount of hell for it when you had people go, by God, I want to see the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which, for me, it's sitting there going, why the hell would you want to see this shit? But Warner Brothers said, hey, they want it, give it to them. And then they caught hell from people. There are articles out there that went, well, Cowtown is toxic fans, because starting at around 2015, listening to your customer became a negative.
Yeah, and that goes against every business class I ever attended. That goes against it. It's like,
that became a negative, and then now you sit back and go, well, why ain't we making money? Well, that's why. The beer virus really just sped up what was happening anyway.
Yeah. What would have took 10 years only took, what, a year and a half?
Yeah. They lasted about 6 months, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, sweet Jesus, what in the hell happened? Well, you ran off the dependability.
One thing, I think you've got a division in the company. I think you've got a division between the people that are actually wanting to run it like a business and the people that just want to use it as their soapbox.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think those are the people that are so virulently against the fans.
Because the fans don't like their message.
Mm-hmm. Or at least aren't willing to pay $5 a book for it.
Yeah, and the book suffers.
Mm-hmm.
The properties suffer.
Yeah. I think one of the analogies that I saw was it's like someone takes you and cuts like an inch cut on you that, it bleeds. Or they can take and cut like a 6-inch cut on you and you really bleed. Either way, you're hemorrhaging and you need to stop the bleeding. And it's like, for some reason in the past couple of years, they're like, it'll be fine. No.
Just another nick and another nick and another nick.
Yeah, and pretty soon, the person is barely able to move, and it's like, well, how did this happen? Well, gee, if you had fixed where you're hemorrhaging money to begin with.
But you didn't, so now it's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. And that's what they've done to themselves, and over the years.
They need the video that I had to watch at the hospital. Just give them the pickle. And it was a thing about it was a film class basically of going, when you have a loyal customer, if they want something, just give it to them because they're your loyal customer. You don't lose a customer over a pickle. Just give them. And that was the dude's thing. Was like, just give them the damn pickle.
Yep.
Instead, they went, to hell with you, and why in the hell would you eat a pickle? And if you want pickles around here, well, you can I'll be kind if you just don't buy my product. Okay.
Well,
it's comic books. It ain't air. It ain't food. It ain't shelter. It's entertainment. At any given time, people can go, fuck it. I'll go do something else.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that a lot of the entertainment things haven't figured out. Like with Todd and I, we know what our hobbies are. We're dying the wool, comic book nerds, or we like this style of movie. They're trying to catch the folks that haven't done that yet, but they're kicking us out, and they're not thinking about the fact that, most guys or women at a certain age have a, steady income, a certain amount of disposable income that, for 20, 30 years, they've been putting that disposable income toward this hobby or this whatever. And then when they run you off, they can't understand why they don't have that same money. And it's like,
we are a little off the topic of the thing, but yeah, it's one of those kind of things when you say I'm a comic guy. I used to be a comic guy. I used to have a $20 to $40 a week habit. Ain't bought a comic in God knows how long. I think Jason's in the same boat that I'm in. When's the last time you bought a comic, Jason?
If you don't count trades, it's been years and years.
Yeah.
Now, I will buy the occasional trade. Usually of the older stuff, not always.
Yeah, I haven't bought a comic, man. God knows how long.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff I've read has been digital, and it's like only because the quality of a lot of the stuff has gone. You know,
Well, now if you count digital comics, it's still been a couple of years, but it hasn't been nearly as long. Because sometimes I'd get on Comixology and just find me a 99-cent book. Always to encourage this price point and buy a few.
But yeah, but I think that's the thing. If you got fans in there, there's a chance that it would improve. Especially if one of the ones is rumored is kind of hands-on. But
now the article I read did not mention who all was involved in this group of High Roller fans. So what have you heard?
The rumor that I saw from Comic Pro Secrets, and you can say what you want to about Van Sciver, he called this shit like months ago.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 6 months to a year ago, he was going, yeah, DC's getting ready to pack it up. Somebody's gonna swoop in and get it. His two, if they are correct, and I wrote them down just so. Well, one is easily. The first one would be Steve Geppi, and while you probably don't know who he is, he's the one that owns Diamond.
Oh, okay.
And the second one is Robert Kirkman.
I wouldn't have thought Kirkman would be in big money, but given The Walking Dead and stuff, I guess he would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has made his money and then some from merchandising alone. And if you've got a guy that, like, hey, I've got this and I'm going to do this and I've made a ton of money, you know what I could do with the Disney stuff? I mean, the DC stuff,
And Kirkman's Marvel stuff tended to be okay.
Yeah, Kirkman's Marvel stuff was really good. So, if that rumor's true, if he was one of them, and if he was actually hands-on, because that's the trick is, if you told me that that Jim Lee running the show at DC was going to suck, I wouldn't have believed it back then. But, whoever comes in there and buys the damn thing, they are going to have to get them the real good editor-in-chief, and I don't think any of them fuckers have that shit right now.
That's the problem at a lot of
you
places.
Need somebody,
you need a editor-in-chief.
You need somebody to come in and go, no. Hey, I want to do
tone.
it. Yeah.
Kind of the overall tone.
Yeah. Hey, I want to go do this. No.
But back with DC, they have Infinite Frontier planned out, or number 0 for March, and Infinite Frontier number 1 in July. So, like, they've already planned out to go that far.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like some kind of immediate, eject button happening.
Until it is. DC can plan all they want to. AT&T decides, you know what, screw it, we're just pulling the plug. Then the plug is pulled. That has happened to companies before.
Yeah. Okay, that's happened to plenty of companies. People...
But again, that's also the rumor. The rumor is currently that Infinite Frontier, if it don't do gangbusters, that's probably lights out.
Yeah. And of course, this is all rumor at this point, so
Yeah, and like I said, it's all rumor, it's all conjecture. But let's be honest, there's probably some truth to it, because how many years have people been going, why can't we go back to the pre-New 52 stuff, and which was almost as soon as they did New 52, people start going, sweet God, can't we have this stuff was so much better before you did this?
Yeah.
And then, like, for Rebirth, they gave you the pre-New 52 Superman as kind of a bone, but they just would not let that crap go. So that's always a hint and a half when you look and go, hey, they actually giving people what they asked for. It's 10 years too damn late, but they finally gave it to you. For them to give it to you at all means that, hell, they're nuts in a vice.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to give you a good example of the quality of stuff before New 52, I was reading a you had some guys, on a message board that were talking about one of the guys, his dad had gave him all the comics he had. And he said, he had been reading whatever the current stuff was, and then he started reading his dad's old stuff, and he just quit buying the new stuff and started going back and buying and filling in the holes of his dad's old collection because the stories were better. It was he was more entertained, and it's like, in some cases, you're paying double or triple the cost of the book just to finish a story you're enjoying reading.
But the trick is they already knew that because the prints that they were putting out in Walmarts, it was the old stuff.
Yeah.
And you'd had Dido basically go, well, this didn't making sense. The reprints that we put out sell more than the current stuff.
Yeah.
Well, instead of that being a hit and a half,
yeah,
they just shrugged their shoulders. It's a mystery for the ages.
Yeah, and that's literally that has been. You look at these the current kind of pop culture heads. That's been their thing. The customer keeps going, we don't want this, we don't want this. And if they have the opportunity to get something old, they'll buy the hell out of it. And then everybody sits there and go, well, why? I just can't understand why people would rather have this old stuff. It's because your new shit sucks.
Yep.
Nobody has the brains of Coca-Cola. Danny, Jason may be old enough, but I know Danny and I are old enough to remember New Coke. They put out New Coke. They changed the formula of Coca-Cola. People drank it, was like, I don't like this shit. And Coca-Cola went, oh, really? Well, here's Coca-Cola Classic. You like old Coke? Yeah, we like the old Coke. Well, here's New Coke and old Coke. And now it's just Coca-Cola because New Coke went the way of the dinosaur.
Except Coca-Cola Classic wasn't the old Coke. It was still a changed formula. That's when they switched from using real sugar to corn syrup.
Yeah. It just
but because you had New Coke in between there, you didn't notice it as much.
Yeah, but it was also a small enough change that it could go vaguely unnoticed since you hadn't had it in a while.
Yeah, but it was still a step up from the New Coke. Now, whether that was an intentional something they did, which is there's some conspiracy, or whether it was just kind of happenstance. But
the trick is you gave people what they wanted.
Yeah,
we didn't want this. They didn't go, well, you should want this. This is better for you. They went, well, fuck it. You like the old stuff? Yeah, well, here.
All right, so final thoughts.
Truly classic Coke has cocaine in it. So
yeah.
Final thoughts, so we can wrap this up. For me, I'm hoping this rumor is true. I'm hoping you got a group of fans that's going to give it a shot. They might not make it fly. I remember Cross-Gen Comics. You had a billionaire that was really into comics that started his up. And, it wound up failing, even though his company put out some really good books. So it really depends on if the guys doing this know what they're doing on the business side of things. Kirkman may be a good writer. Does he know what he's doing on the business side? We'll have to find out. But I'm hopeful for it. What about y'all?
I'm hopeful. I would hate to see a company as old as DC go the way of the dodo. I would like to see the universe grow stronger, and go back to a classic view of the characters that we all grew up with. I don't mind new characters, but just don't screw up the classics. That's where your foundation is, and a house can't stand without a foundation.
Honestly, I hope that this is true. These fans buy it out and then run in a wildly different direction with it. Like, run in the direction like The Mask did. Where, when you have a story with a character, you do it, it sells gangbusters because it's a good story. And then you leave it alone till you have another good story for it.
More of a mini-series approach.
Yeah, you don't need to have a 16 continuous Batman books because both oversaturation and the fact that you just don't have as many people reading comic books. But if you just sit down and just keep making a quality product, then you're not losing a bunch of money by trying to make 1,000 products. So I hope they take it and then it is taken in a different direction to see if that can succeed.
Todd?
I prefer I prefer fans getting it over the other choices, especially Marvel. I don't want Marvel to have books they got. But yeah, if you actually have somebody that loves the product, then I can hope for a Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the difference in it and the baseline Star Wars is when you watch that, you can tell the people involved love it. So if you have owners that love it, maybe they'll act like they'll love it and they'll improve it instead of dragging it to the gutter like currently. So yeah, I'm hoping somebody gets a hold of it that actually likes comics and likes those characters.
Well, here's to hoping. So, if you listeners, if you've got an opinion on this, or if you've heard something that we didn't bring up, let us know. You can reach us at thenerdattornal@gmail.com. You can reach us on Facebook. You can reach us on Twitter.
You can reach us on Teespring.
Well, we have a shop at Teespring, which you can find by going to thenerdattornal.com and hitting the little shop button at the top in the menu. So, let's see. I guess that wraps it up. I can't think of anything else we need to bring up. So I guess we'll see y'all next time. Again, I was your host, the experienced some called Jason, and with me today has been
the Todd Father,
CDO 113,
the token sellout, Tarky.
And we will talk to y'all next week.
Jesus.